Welcome to Hops News, the trusted source in beer culture news. Here's your host, Jay Brew, with special guests, the Hoppy Mommy, Lucky, and Mash.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Hoppy Hour. Man, do we have a show for you guys tonight. So let's give you a little bit of a rundown before we check in with the crew around the nation, man. We've got some... We might have a little bit of technical difficulties this evening because we're all the way out in the Yellowstone this evening, but we'll check in with him in just a second. Tonight's show is going to be pretty awesome. I know we've promoted it pretty heavily over the week, but it's deserved it. We're going to start out talking with Brothers Craft Brewing in Virginia and talk about their Valley program for aging services. Hopefully he calls in here shortly. I think he may have just... Hold on just a second. Let me try to patch this through here real quick. And we'll have Josh Harold on in just a second with Brothers Craft Brewing in Virginia. We'll talk about the Valley program for aging services there and the awesome work that brewery does to help out the elderly there. Mm-hmm. And then into the second hour, we're going to talk to Weathered Souls Brewing Company out of Texas and talk about their Black is Beautiful initiative. Right. So it'll be a great episode of Hoppy Hour again tonight. We also have, like always, bomber jacket giveaways. And this one, I will tell you, I'm surprised this one made it to the table because there's been a few people already that's eyeballed this one. So this one is going to be a big one for us. We'll also have beer school, as always. We'll check in with Professor Hoppy down there in Florida, talk beer school. We'll also talk hops news. Have some interesting news out there that we might have one of our own that actually participate in this one. So this will be interesting. We're also going to check in with Brother Lee Love. All Man, right. We've got him here in the studio, so yes. We'll check in with him in just a second. It's been a treat to drink a few beers this evening with Brother Lee Love, and it's great to have him back on the show. In the meantime, let's start with Hoppy. Check in with Hoppy down there in Florida. Hoppy, how are things going in Florida? We talked a little bit. It sounds like some restrictions might be lifted and in the works down there. How's it going?
It's very wet. It's nonstop raining, but that's summer here in Florida. But yeah, phase 2 starts tomorrow. But Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami are still grounded. They are not on phase 2. So, but the keys are open, and I think everything else is open. So all the breweries are posting announcements that you can start coming in and drinking there tomorrow.
Awesome. That's great. That's great to hear. And Josh, if you can hear us, I know you're calling in. If you can hear us, we'll check in with you in just a minute. So hang tight. Just hang on hold there, and we'll bring you back into the live stream here in just shortly. Yeah, that's great. It's good that I think the most of the country is starting to change and transition over. So that's great news down there in Florida for sure. And we'll check back in with you in just a second when we go to beer school. Let's go to this one real quick. Mash out in West Yellowstone, Montana. Man, you are out there tonight, buddy. How's it going out in West Yellowstone other than your technical difficulties that you're dealing with?
Ooh, man. Well, first of all, I got great news. I managed to plug my laptop in through the cabin door. So I'm powered up. I adapt and overcome. One of those things. I'm on my old man rocking chair out here, drinking a nice raspberry kombucha. Don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to be real honest with you. Mm-hmm. But I'm wicked excited to talk to Josh from Brothers, and then Marcus from Weathered Souls. I'm really, really excited about these guys that we got on tonight. A lot of great causes, and hey, don't forget that donate button down there. We're putting a lot of good causes.
Yeah, definitely don't forget the donate button. Mash, I'm glad to hear that you got plugged in out there. I will tell you, for about an hour before we went live here, Mash was struggling with some technical difficulties. So hopefully he'll be able to stick with us. If he drops off, please forgive us, but definitely appreciate you finding that plug, because it's going to be good to have you around. Let's go out.
By a bear.
Yeah, or if you see him take off running, just don't be the slowest one, right? Let's go check in with Lucky up there in Wisconsin. Lucky, you're back home. I see you back in your apartment. You got a smile. Looks like things may have been lifted. How are things going out there?
I'm doing all right. I'm sad I missed Sunday. I was able to watch you guys. I'm sad I missed Brew Witch, but it was awesome. I thought it was an awesome stream that you guys did. But yeah, it feels good to be back. We're still under curfew for who knows how long. But Milwaukee and a couple of surrounding cities are under curfew, so it's fine. Some not great news in my personal life. I found out recently that I'll be home until 2021. So working from home until 2021. So while everything opens around me, I'll still be working from home, which isn't like the worst thing in the world. It's just 7 more months, and this seems tough right now. Tough to comprehend anyway. So, but everything else is fine. Drinking some nice Pugzilla.
Oh, nice.
Too much.
Yeah, that's a great can too. Yeah, that's tough, especially in your industry. Obviously, being an accountant and having to work from home. I will tell you, I'm not on the receiving end of accounting work right now, and just trying to get audits done from still last year has been a challenge. So I can imagine what you guys are going through up there. But appreciate you being able to join us tonight. We definitely missed you on Sunday. Good to see you. Let's go back to, I don't know if we checked in, if Hoppy showed us what she was drinking. Let's run down to Florida again real quick and see what Hoppy's drinking on. We forgot to get that in.
Yeah, that was an amateur rookie mistake, and I'm actually drinking. It's called Liquid Joy. It's a milk stout from a brewery called Bowman Hill Brewing, and they haven't yet opened in Orlando. But they had all this beer that they had made for festivals that they couldn't use. So they're like, "Oh, if you come over and bring a growler," I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Everything I've had from them at the festivals has been absolutely amazing, and they said that they have a big announcement soon. So I have my fingers crossed that they're going to open really close to my house. Is my dream.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we'll see, but yeah. Bowman Hill Brewing, if you're in the area and you don't follow them, you should, because their beer is amazing, and they're going to be opening soon, I hope.
Awesome. Well, from Florida, we're going to come back here to Blowing Rock, and we're going to check in with Brotherly Love. Man, I can't tell you how excited I am to have this guy back in the studio.
Yeah, brother.
Brotherly Love, how's it going?
All right.
Awesome. It's good to have you. What are you sipping on over there?
Some of that Sweetwater Brewery. I got some Be Real. It's a Mexican lager. It's actually pretty crushable. So yep. I plan on having that. run all throughout my esophagus this evening. So this is about to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
We,
I just want to say real quick, man, I'm excited to be back on the show.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're happy to have you. So,
really
just
am.
a real quick background with all of the new viewers out there. Brotherly Love is the creative genius behind the Hops News branding. If you've seen all of our graphics and media that we have going on, that's the talent that creates that. And really, without him in the beginning, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Yeah.
And he's also he generally doesn't toot his own horn, but he's also the creative genius behind most of A&B Appalachian Mountain Brewery's branding. So all of that can art that's sexy as hell that you see, that's the man that's kind of created that. So
yeah, man, appreciate that.
and I think we'll see some of it here shortly. I think there's a couple of the guys that have some drinks out there. Maybe even Hoppy has one. I think she may have mentioned it.
There's some in there. Hopefully so.
Yeah, for sure. Josh, let's see if we can bring Josh in real quick so we can talk a little bit about. Josh, can you hear us?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, Josh, thanks for holding on hold there for a minute. I know it's a little bit odd calling into this show sometimes. We're not like radio stations where we have a receptionist that can answer the phone for us. So we appreciate you hanging on.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, we appreciate you hanging tight there for us. Josh, we usually where we start here is kind of give us a background on yourself and how you got started in the beer industry, and then kind of go from there into what Brothers Craft Brewing in Virginia is about.
Awesome. Yeah, long story short, and it is a long story. I went from, the 90s, late 90s, graduating college, get a degree in whatever you want. There'll be a job, to doing restaurant industry through the mid-2000s, to becoming an elementary school teacher, to now taproom manager of Brothers Craft Brewing. That's the definite short of the long story, but I'm glad I'm here. Been with the brewery since, again, 2016. We officially started pouring beer and distributed late in 2012 and officially opened up the taproom here in 2013. And I'm proud to say that I was one of the first people through the taproom door during the soft open. I was just stoked that we had a local brewery. And when I came here for the first time, I was blown away by the product, but also the brothers. And that's kind of the one thing I love as, an employee here is the business model of this is a family run business. These guys are local guys that, found the American dream. And they treat us all like family, and we treat our customers like family. And, a big part of it is making beer, but a big part of it is being community centered and giving back to our community as much as, if not more than it gives to us. So it's a great place to work and a great group of people to work with.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anytime you go from an elementary school teacher to a taproom manager, it's kind of the same ball field, right? I mean, you're herding cats. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there, I'm sure, and that's an awesome transition. But it's good to hear. I tell you, kind of the story of most of these breweries is doing awesome things to their community, and that was kind of our upbringing in the beer industry as well. Is those breweries that give back to the community are crushing it. So tell us a little bit about your Cast for a Cause every third Friday, I believe.
That's correct. It's something that the brothers rolled out day one with this tap room. Wanting to make sure we're philanthropy centered, they started it in the beginning where every third Friday of the month we would benefit another nonprofit in our area. We take requests from any nonprofits because we want to be able to help everybody out. And the whole idea is we invite the nonprofit in and they help us make a cask. And, technical terms of 10 to 5 gallons worth of beer. And, preferably it's something that we already have brewing in our tank so we can make a true cask, maybe one of our flagships, a seasonal, one-off, and to put a different spin on it. Something they want to do to make it special. So it's special for our fans, it's special for our regulars. It helps draw people out. And then the night of the event, when people come out, each beer off that cask is $5, and that $5 goes directly to the cause. If you know anything about, the numbers, a pen will hold up to 40 pints. So that's a $200 donation if we can kick the cask on any given Friday, which is our goal. We also have our graphic designer print out an event poster that we have framed and do a silent auction for that. and we allow then the organizations to do any other type of fundraisings they want to do during the event, and we make them the spotlight of the night. We want to get their word out. We want people to know what they are doing. And it's awesome because that means, 12 different organizations in a year get spotlighted, and we can do a lot of community service just in this one initiative we have here at the brewery every year.
Awesome, man. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's good to hear, and I like that you guys are kind of consistent, right? Every third Friday, when you're consistent like that, then it allows people to kind of develop a schedule, and that's kind of what we've tried to do here as well. As Thursday evenings tune in. People generally aren't, especially now, people generally aren't out on Thirsty Thursdays and enjoying it, but definitely appreciate that. So tell us a little bit about what you know about the Valley Program for Aging Services. I will tell you, when I first heard about that, man, I think you guys are, I don't want to say the only one, because there's probably somebody else out there that I've heard of that's doing it, but you got to be really close to the only brewery that I've heard of that's kind of reaching that elderly market, trying to do the fundraising and the right thing with that population. How did you guys get linked up with those guys?
It's funny, my dad retired a handful of years ago, and when he retired, he realized he couldn't just sit around and do nothing. So he decided to start figuring out what to do with himself with his time during the week, or else he'd be drinking all day, right? So one of the things he got in with was the local Meals on Wheels, which is one of the many programs that Valley Program of Aging Services, VPAS, does, and became a volunteer and started delivering meals weekly. And through that, he met Beth Bland, the executive director, and, she, in talking to him, he's a guy that likes to chat, talked about all the outreach we do, and she said, do you think that Josh would be interested in doing something with us? And he said, absolutely. And so that was where the connection was made. She reached out to me and said, hey, this is what we do. I said, that's perfect for what we're looking to help out with the cash of the cause. And, it worked out really well with Meals on Wheels, because now they have an annual spot in March, which is Meals on Wheels, March for Meals month, where they do a lot of promotions towards Meals on Wheels and getting people aware of the hunger issue with people that are serviced by Meals on Wheels. And so it's become a nice little thing where we can kind of add in to what they're already doing to help bring awareness to all the good work that they do.
Awesome. So Josh, one of the things I wanted to real quick congratulate you guys on is that, like Jeremy was saying, this, for a lot of people, it's an out of sight, out of mind type of a situation. But the reality of it is that this generation, these are the people who raised our parents, inadvertently raised us, and a lot of times they get forgotten about with our everyday life. And the fact that you all are putting this energy and effort into, something as simple as making them be seen, whether it's meals, whether it's going to spend time with them, they should never be forgotten about. And a lot of times we put a lot of highlight and energy into what's marketable and what's sexy and what's youthful and the things about that. And we forget about our roots and those people who raised us, and they've given us this insight, they've given us this life experience. And for a lot of them, they invested in us financially so we can go to college, so we can get our first car, so we can put a down payment on our first house, and they get forgotten about. So I want to congratulate you all on putting a highlight on this, these people, and making sure that they're heard, seen, and loved. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Our aging seniors are a population, like you said, that sometimes get forgotten but must be respected. They are seniors. They're the ones that set us up to be successful in life. And, when it comes to aging and seniors, some people have it easier than others. And that's where we really appreciate being able to support VPAS and all that they do for aging seniors that are homebound, that can't do the basic necessities for themselves, especially with Meals on Wheels. One of the things, the March campaign that they do that we participate in with the Castro Cause is the Community Champions Day, and that invites out local people to come ride along with a representative from Meals on Wheels. So I get to do that with my dad every year, and to ride along that route and see the seniors and that moment, that spark when you walk up, it's more than just delivering a meal. It's a smile, it's a handshake, it's a chat, and being able to respect the elders like that is a powerful thing.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Absolutely, man. A lot of people don't realize too that because I've had experience Meals on Wheels delivering. There's a lot of people who don't have anybody out there. Like that, maybe some of their only human interaction is when you drop off that meal, when you take them out to these places. So just a small impact is, hey, here's your lunch for the day. I hope you're having a great day. That means a lot to them, and it's easy to forget about it, but it is very important. So like Brother Lee was saying there, man, just congrats to you guys for putting through with that and sticking with it and making a difference as far as that goes.
I appreciate that, and you're absolutely correct. That's 100% it.
So Josh,
for if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Lucky.
One of our commenters has said that you guys throw a great Christmas event at Brothers Craft Brewing. Is that true? Can you tell us about that?
Is that true?
Sure thing. So we have a couple annual partnerships with the Cast for Cause. In March, we do, VPAS Meals on Wheels. On Christmas, one of the local shelters here is the one that we service, and it's called Mercy House. Mercy House is a local shelter, much in the vein of like a Salvation Army, but they're locally funded and supported through Harrisonburg. And so what we do with them, in our annual partnership with them, is on Black Friday, we build what is called the Brothers Giving Tree. It's a Christmas tree, but instead of ornaments, it's a bunch of paper ornaments that represent different residents there at Mercy House, whether it be adults or children, and their wish list. And we invite our regulars to come out and anybody to come out and grab an ornament off the tree and play Secret Santa, essentially. It's a great thing to start on, Black Friday, because it's the exact opposite of what most people do on Black Friday. You're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your family. No, let's think about giving. And we run it all the way through about the second week of December. And at that point, we drop off the gifts at Mercy House about the second or third Monday of December, which is an amazing experience. I get to take carloads of gifts over there to help these needy families in the area have a happy Christmas and a Merry Christmas. And then we do our cash of the cost of them in December as well, so we can generate funds to help Mercy House and to get them supplies and the funds they need to continue their mission through the winter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you've nailed it. We haven't done this, but we're going to do this today because I can see, right? I have a little insight into donations, right?
Right, let's do it.
So we're going to pick the winner of the Supreme bomber jacket is going to be randomly chosen from somebody that donates
now, what is
the
this?
Valley program.
So we're looking at it's a 12, it's a 16 ounce?
Yeah, it's a 16 ounce. It's a true bomber jacket, and it's better than a koozie is their branding. So if you want to be entered into the random drawing to win that thing, drop some change in that bucket for the Valley program, because it is definitely, as Brotherly Love said, kind of our forgetting population. And I will say just a real quick kind of current events. In Wilkesboro today, which is just down the road from where we live, a lady recently passed away that was receiving Civil War benefits.
What?
The last one in the nation to be receiving Civil War, they called it a Civil War pension.
Civil War pension.
Civil, like.
Well, I know the.
Yeah, I mean it's just.
But I know what we're talking about. Wow.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a random winner from anybody that donates. So drop a few dimes in the bucket, a couple of dollars, $100, maybe $500, whatever you want to drop in that bucket tonight. That'll be the winner, because I think we're right. Tommy or Brotherly Love, they're hit it on the head with. They're often forgotten, and for what these guys are doing in Virginia to bring them on the forefront is pretty amazing, and we definitely appreciate that. So, if you want the opportunity to win that one tonight, and it's a pretty cool one. I bet you I I bet you I could ask anybody in the on this side of the mic tonight who wants that Supreme bomber jacket. I know Lucky wants it. Lucky, go ahead and drop a few change in that bucket, and you'll be entered. So
That's Supreme.
yeah, it's definitely Supreme.
Get that Supreme.
So Josh, one question that I like to ask our guests that come on the show is, if we all, what is there, 5 of us tonight, if all 5 of us walked into your tap room tonight, bellied up to the bar, what is it that you're going to pour us? What's the first beer you're going to offer us up?
That's a great question, and that's one of the things I love about our tap room is we try to have a different flavor for every palate type. So the first thing I would ask you is, what are you into? Because we've got a little something to everything. Like right now, I'm sipping on our Admiral. It's our flagship double IPA, 8.3%, and it's a classic dip up. Nice grapefruit notes at the end. Nice balance of malt to hop. It's delicious. But if you want more of a New England style, we got that. If you want a 13.5% bourbon barrel aged Russian Imperial stout called Resolute, we got that.
Okay.
We got Little Hellion, our classic German Helles lager that won us the best beer in Virginia in 2018 on tap. We have so many different styles. We have Berliner Weisses. We have sours. That's the thing about what we do. We like to be a little something for everybody, whether it be with our work in our community or the beer we brew. We just like to be that kind of place where everybody's accepted and welcome, and we ask everybody to join the brotherhood and be a part of it.
What's your music situation down there looking like? Do you got a stage for some local talent?
Yeah.
Down there?
Absolutely.
It's a buddy of mine in Virginia. His name is Jonathan Smith. He's a great, he's great on the piano, and the flute and the harp. And he's
very nice.
Yeah, he only plays in spandex, actually. He's making waves, so I might have him come down and put it.
Dude, if you have somebody playing a harp and spandex in your brewery, we're coming.
His name is Jonathan Smith. He plays the harp and spandex,
and I'm bringing brotherly love with me.
Damn right.
If you book him, we'll be there.
Same day. So tell Jonathan Smith in Virginia that harp spandex is happening. ASAP.
That is awesome. We do music on a regular. Friday, Saturday nights, we like to have singer-songwriters either in the tap room. We have a nice outside space. In the cool spring months and cool fall months, we have what we call By the Fire Fridays. We'll get some fire pits out and have a free s'more station and singer-songwriters out around that. And then we do bigger and better things. We have a music festival in May called May Music Festival that benefits 2 local adoption agencies for cats and dogs. We have a music festival in the fall called Great Outdoors Music Fest that is around our flagship Pale Ale Great Outdoors. And we also do the random metal night here and there, because we got to hit all the genres, right?
There you go. Gotta hit them.
I'm there. Metal night, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that flight ready when I get there of that double, that hazy, that bourbon barrel, and that German lager. It sounds amazing. So I'm getting a flight. I'm not getting one.
Here's the entire bar.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, though, Josh, you pour a 13% this early in our show, and it's going to be sideways by the time the second hour gets here.
I think that's sort of the goal at this point.
That sounds like a challenge.
We're going to have an episode dedicated just to 13%ers just because of that.
I like it.
Resolute does have a big brother called Steadfast, and Steadfast we've only brewed once, and we took the base Russian Imperial Stout to Resolute. We bumped it up to about 16.5 and we barrel aged it, and it got out to 19.5. Yeah, the end product is 19.5, 19.5% ABV, and it's delicious.
Right?
Wow.
Oh, that is
Okay,
amazing.
has anybody been arrested on 16.5? Like on staff? Anybody on staff been arrested for 16.5? That's dangerous. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, that's dangerous.
That's
Let's do
awesome,
it.
man. But
Let's
we
do
would
it.
definitely be crooked by the second hour of this show. I would tell you, Friday mornings are bad enough as it is. I can imagine having a couple of 16.
A couple of 16%ers. I'm going to be crawling out of that place.
Yeah. Well, Josh, we definitely appreciate you joining us tonight, man. And I will tell you, I appreciate what you guys are doing for the elderly there in your community.
Yeah.
There's nothing, brotherly love hit it. It's popular to be young and sexy and kind of in that crowd, but to be where you guys are at, hitting the elderly folks and supporting them, there's not much love that's given there, but you guys are definitely doing it, and we definitely appreciate it. And I hope that the viewers out there are appreciating it as well, and hope we can raise some money for that organization tonight.
Shit, the reality of it is that we'll all be there at some point in time, and the more that we can give to those people right now, I mean, I feel like those things come back around. So when we're in that spot, there's going to be somebody there to crack a beer with us and, listen to our, war stories that we've told 150 times to everybody around us, but still, engage with us and give us that undivided attention for a little while. Because you know what? We goddamn deserved it, because we brought you here to this earth and we'll take your ass out.
Yes, sir. Hey, I hope somebody's recording this so when I get old, they're like, they helped him out. He helped some people out. We got to go wipe his ass now. Somebody wipe his ass, because he's all poopy.
When I get to that point, then just sit me on the iceberg.
Yeah, that's awesome. Josh, we definitely appreciate your time and appreciate what you guys are doing up there in Virginia.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
And thank you guys so much for reaching out. It was a pleasure to come chat with you guys. It was a lot of fun, and thank you guys for helping us get awareness out about BHAP.
Yes,
yeah, man.
Yes,
of course,
sir.
man. Enjoy it. Be safe, man. Hug your family, hug your friends while you're out there, man. Don't take this time for granted to be able to write a letter, man. Do something, and just express that. Connect with those people that love you and let them know you love them back.
There you go. That's it, man. Thank you guys so much, and you have a good night.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I got to go call my grandma real quick after that.
Yeah, man. Do it.
Yeah, for sure. So we're back down here at my level here. We'll check in with let's go check in with Beer School here in just a second and see what's going on down there in Florida.
Beer School.
Yeah, don't forget the donate button is there. Make sure you guys hit that up. That will be the random winner of that bomber jacket tonight. Great bomber jacket. Great organization. We appreciate Josh's time tonight, checking in with us and letting us know what Brothers Craft Brewing there in Virginia is doing. Let's run down to Florida and check and see what's going on.
What's going down in Florida?
With Beer School. Let's get this fired up here and see what we're doing with.
What's going on?
There she is, Professor Hoppy in Orlando, Florida. Take us to school.
All right, so school this week, somebody requested hops. Well, there's a lot of information about hops, so I did a lot of research and I narrowed it down as much as I could. So we're going to start with what a hop is. It is the female flower of the Humulus lupulus plant. Now, the male flower is solely used for breeding. So it's like that issue of Wonder Woman where they literally just mate with the men and then they throw them into the ocean. The hop just has to be durable and disease resistant and you're good to go. So during our 420 segment, we learned that marijuana and hops are related. Well, now we're about to learn a hop ton more. I had to throw a dad joke in there. It's June. So hops are actually creeping vines, not vines, but vines. And they cling to things and they go up these trellises that can go up to 25 feet high. You usually see them like 18 feet high. So why hops? Hops didn't show up in beer until like the 9th century. England didn't even get them till like the 15th century. So why add the hops after having beer for like 5,000 years? Well, the hops add flavor, bitterness, they enhance head retention, that's what she said. They make it smell heavenly, and they actually act as a preservative by keeping bacteria away. So I know everybody's heard the IPA story of the British troops were in India, and every time the beer got to them, because it had to go all the way under Africa to get there, and the beer didn't taste great then. So they threw a bunch of hops in there and it acted like a preservative because it kept the bacteria away. But now the 1870s comes, we get pasteurization. Well, you don't really need hops anymore. And so it was kind of like how we learned about smoky beer. A lot of people didn't like smoky beer. A lot of people didn't like hoppy beer. So once it wasn't required, it kind of fizzled out a little bit. But today, we absolutely love hops. There are over hundreds of different kinds of hops, and people are constantly breeding new kinds of hops to get different aromas and different tastes. So there's actually hops that are specific to smell and specific to taste, and if they're good for both, they're called dual-purpose hops, because everything has to have a name. So when you're actually brewing, you can buy hops in 3 different ways. One is a hop extract, which is just like the resin oils from the plant. They tend to be more efficient, but not very bitter. Then there's hop powder or pellets, and that's what you often see at the breweries. It looks like rabbit food. I've always thought it looks like rabbit food, and that's what I think every time I see it. And that you can have more variety with that because it's easier to preserve, and they'll ship it anywhere, and so that's what a lot of people use. And they don't oxidize as quick, which means your beer doesn't get skunky as quick. Not skanky, skunky. I said skanky last Sunday. That was my 11%er. And then there's hop cones. Those are actual whole cones. Now you can have fresh dried cones, or you can have wet cones. Now the wet cones are supposedly the best because it's supposed to give this amazing aroma and it's supposed to be so amazing, but you got to get those hops into the boil within 24 hours. So that doesn't really happen. Think of a flower. As soon as you pick it, it starts to die. So if you ever hear wet hopped, you need to go drink that beer. And you're probably only going to see that if you're near a hop yard, but if you ever see wet hopped, go drink that beer. You usually only see dry hopped. Now the type of hop it is, how it's harvested affects the smell and the taste of the beer. It also affects it depending on when you add the hops. You can add the hops before the boil, during the boil, after the boil, during fermentation, anytime. It all depends. Brewer's choice. Another thing that is affected by, or another thing with the hops that affects the smell and the taste is where it grows, so its location. Hops are grown all over the world. And of course, the place that makes the most hops is Germany. There's even a word for why the hops taste different in different places. But so Germany is the #1 producer. They tend to make what's called old world hops, and then there's new world hops. It's basically old hops and new hops. I couldn't find any other difference other than they're old and some are new, but that's what they're called. Old world hops, new world hops, and there's noble hops, which is basically just old hops that make old lagers. So #2 is the US of A. So most of those hops come from Yakima Valley in Washington. That's 69% come from there. And fun fact for mash, hops and potatoes, mash is in Idaho, hops and potatoes thrive in the same environment. So 14% of US hops are from Idaho. Just go find a hop yard. Another big place that has hops is New Zealand. They are known for their Sauvignon hop, which it gives it like a Sauvignon Blanc flavor. So I have this beer here that was made with Sauvignon whatever. I just thought it was cool because it's The Simpsons, so I wanted to show it. So Australia and New Zealand actually have a game up or a step up than everybody else because they don't have mildew. That's a big issue with hops. It's like the villain of hops is downy mildew. And for some reason, this fungus hasn't reached them. So they're good to go. Now, one big area that somebody actually requested to hear about was South Africa. So they actually are a big hop producer, but a lot of people don't expect that. So you can actually go to a hop yard 3.5 hours away from the home of Air Jaws. So I did not know that. I visited Air Jaws years ago and had no idea I was 3.5 hours away from a bunch of hop yards. So they're usually known for wine, but South Africa is now also known for hops. But there's a whole bunch of drama in regards to that because the South African Brewers Association owns this hop yard. Well, they merged with Miller in 2002, and then InBev bought them out in 2016, 2015. So then all these rumors began that Budweiser was stealing these hops and not giving them to local brewers. So that's a whole bunch of, everybody loves that gossip with Budweiser. But it turns out there may have been some truth to that, but also South Africa's in a drought. So nobody knows if they were just doing this because they didn't have enough hops or if they were doing this to control the hop market. Who knows? If anybody has new information on it, I'd love to hear it. I couldn't find any new information. Last I was reading was, InBev is doing this, and there's a drought. And obviously they want to give their Castle beer, which is their main beer in South Africa, the hops first, or any of the local people. But I guess a lot of American breweries wanted some of these hops and couldn't get them. Of course, I have seen many hops in the States that have South African hops. So we do still get them, but it may not be the specific ones they want. I don't really know. So that's about it. So hops, what have we learned? The type of hop, most beers have more than one, where they're grown, how they're harvested, how much you use, and when it's added, all affect the flavor of your delicious beer. And all over the world, people are growing hops and they're breeding new things. And a lot of places that people did not think could brew hops are now brewing hops. Florida being one of them. We actually have quite a few hop yards. And what's really cool is hops can only usually be harvested once a year, but in Florida we don't freeze, so they can harvest them twice a year. And my last fun fact is hops are a perennial plant, which apparently means they can come back. So I had a hop plant in my backyard I was certain I had murdered. And about a week ago I was pulling weeds and my hop plant had leaves on it. So I had not murdered it. So that's exciting. So if you think you murdered your hop plant, don't pull it out. Leave it be. It might come back. And if I have any questions or if anybody wants to call me out on anything, I welcome questions, comments, anything. And that is your school for tonight. Cheers.
Hell yeah.
All right.
It was a lot.
Idaho actually is the number 2 producer of barley for the States as well. Like a lot of hops and barley come from this area of the world or country. It's not gonna do crazy.
It's nice.
But I didn't know that until I moved here.
So do you guys have any like farm to glass kind of breweries?
Farm to glass.
I do not know. That's a good question. I will have to look that up because I'm surprised I haven't seen more wet hopped beers, considering that we do brew a lot with like a lot of the hops come from this area.
Right. I've only had one before. Was once we got the Florida breweries, and they usually are like small batches and tend to go quick.
Yeah.
So I know one thing. With the education that Professor Hoppy's throwing at you guys, we might have to start charging tuition.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That was thorough. I was taking notes.
All tuition fees go straight to our brewery we're eventually going to open from all this knowledge we've gained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, there's more and more you fall down these rabbit holes, and I'm like, how long does everyone want to listen to this, and how long do I want to research? But there's just so much. I say it every week. The more you learn, the less you know about beer. And I remember my dad saying that about wine like 10 years ago, and now it's the case for beer, or probably always has been. We're just learning now.
Right.
Yeah, I think we should write up an article about that, get it posted in case anybody else wants to read some more on it.
Oh, and I keep all my sites too. So if anybody wanted to know where anything was from or wanted more information, I have all my references.
Awesome.
Got to cite my work.
Better be an MLA.
Let's go around the nation and check in with beer. See what the beer situation is again. Let's head out to West Yellowstone first.
Are we still out there?
Check out with Mash. Mash, what is it what are you sipping on out there now?
Oh, right. Well, I'm finishing up this from Boise Fermentation Company. It's where I get all my good stuff. It's a raspberry coconut kombucha. It's more like a sour. Don't know how I feel. But I'm about to pop open this bad boy. And it's called Dear God from E9 from Tacoma, Washington. Speaking of Washington. And I picked this one because about an hour before the show, I'm running around with my head cut off. I didn't bring half my gear. All my stuff's messed up.
We can confirm that.
Dear God was a perfect.
Hey, but you still worked it out. You still worked it out. You saw the situation, you pivoted, and you brought your best, and we appreciate that. So
absolutely. So
he was very worried about bears too.
He was. There was in the moose. Apparently, there was a moose in the background
Anywhere
somewhere.
we went today, people were like, "Did you have your bear spray?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense." So I'm just expecting the bear to pop out anytime now, whether he's Yogi's bear or he's out for some food. I don't.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Watch your
People
back.
definitely underappreciate the level of effort that Mash goes on his globe-trotting adventures to make sure he's with us on Thursday nights. Mash, we appreciate you being here.
Hey, I'm nomadic. Like I said, no matter where I'm at, I'm always going to be tuning in and bring the best for everyone who watches. We really appreciate it.
And have a great beer in your hand. Let's go up to Wisconsin. Let's see what's going up in Cheese Land with Lucky. Lucky, what are you sipping on up there in Cheese headquarters?
I believe this is one that you sent me from the Appalachian Mountain Brewery.
Oh.
How do you pronounce this now? It's a margarita. What?
Gose?
Goza?
Or
Goza?
Everybody says it different. I've heard Gose, Goza.
It's
I've
Goza.
heard all sorts of different ways.
100% it's Goza. Tell your friends to tell their mama to tell their dad that it's Goza.
Oh, look who Professor Hoppy is now.
Oh, be fancy now.
Yeah.
This has got to be one of the coolest cans that I've ever seen. So
Yeah, that can art. So we're gonna go back here to Brotherly Love. Mm-hmm. That's the designer. That's the creative mind behind that can.
Jello.
Yeah. For one, let's start with the can. Mm-hmm. What went into the design of that can, and what was kind of your thought process?
Well, I made it real simple. I drink a whole lot, so I didn't have to think, and I just started putting pieces together that made sense. Well, no, I know that we were celebrating the Cinco de Mayo. I know I did a little research on the sugar skulls and the culture, and so and with all of the ingredients that we had going into this goza, I just did what felt like it needed to fit for the design. And it's a vibrant culture, man. Anytime you go south of the border, you have a culture of liveliness, of color, of festivity. And so I needed to do whatever I could to represent that on the can. And yeah, it came together. It was a lot of trial and error and putting together those patterns. But once I got the foundation of the design, I really literally celebrated. I'm like 3/4 of the way through and just had like a ass ton of beers. And then I woke up in the morning and it was like miraculously done. And I was like, hey, I finished the design, but I got a hangover, have fun. And yeah, it came together in a really fun way. And our team, man, they are really great at collaborating, like all of the brewers and even the bar staff, and everybody's like, yeah, add this, take away that. So I don't just design on my own. Like I really pitch these ideas to the team, and we pretty much design it together. So I won't take all the credit, just like 95% of it.
Awesome. Yeah,
At least you're humble.
Once you hit a couple 11%ers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, brotherly love, what is it that you're sipping on over there now?
Oh shit. Is it the head and topper?
Heady Topper.
Oh no.
Oh, shoot.
Turn your head. Turn your head.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Show
the
it to
heady
us.
topper.
Show it to us.
It's the heady topper. No, actually, this is my first round on the heady topper. I've seen these. I've always wanted to have one,
All right,
and
I'm gonna get
I was
going,
just,
guys.
I was borderline. I was a little bit intimidated about getting one, because every time I would see it, it would be either on my way or coming back from an event, and I already had a couple beers in me, so I was like, I got like 10 and 2. I don't want to go ahead. Like, I gotta drop it. And I would see this. I'm like, I'm gonna take this home. But yeah, the hops are great in it. It just, yeah, it's a really good, smooth, drinkable beer. It's not crushable. Like, if you think you're gonna crush this on one
I
hand,
tried once. It didn't
no. If you think you're gonna crush this in one sitting, you got a whole fucking other thing coming.
They might think otherwise about the crushable portion.
Well, it's one of those beers that you have a couple of them. It does make you a little bit. It softens your edges. I wouldn't be surprised if like 11:30 you're calling your best friends like, hey man, I love you so much. Like, you're my best. It's like it'll bring you into that place of realization, borderline like tears in a good way. I dig it.
Yeah, we got to go check back in with Lucky. I want to see the look on his face, because Lucky had one sent to him.
This man got tears coming out.
Yeah, I think he's in mourning.
Not the good kind.
It's real deal.
I don't know if you guys read my the blog that I put up last weekend, but the eulogy. It's I had one of those, Brother Lee, and I don't anymore. I didn't get to taste it. Something happened while it was being delivered to me, and I have been banging my head. I don't know. I think Jay is just doing this on purpose to like twist the
he does stuff like that.
He's talking about how,
listen, he's an asshole that goes to church sometimes. Like, don't let him. He does. He looks for ways to be assholes. That's why he and I are best friends. We look for common ways to be assholes from like Monday to Friday.
Hey, we're going to run back right here to me here in the studio with Brotherly Love, and I've got some Spotted Cow from Lucky. And this is the second time I've had this beer, and I will tell you, it's just as good the first time that I had it. I had the first time in a tailgating parking lot in Akron, Ohio at a football game. Some fellas were there from the home team, and seen that we were part of a brewery at the time, and stopped in and swapped us out some beer, and it's excellent. So Lucky, appreciate the beer exchange here, man. This is a great beer. Yeah, Spotted Cow is definitely a great product. And we'll go back to the four of you here. So we got everybody back in the screen again. Definitely a drinkable and crushable beer for sure.
Definitely.
Spotted Cow's one of those things that just brings
like,
a tear to my eye every time I see it. I'm not from Wisconsin, which is crazy, but
Yeah, baby. That's what I was telling you.
Like,
That baby has a right.
Yeah. Somebody else is a Spotted Cow fan too.
yeah.
Did you
My wi-
see
my
what
wife
Jeff wrote in the
drinks
comments?
it's all
Everybody
time,
mail Lucky empty heady cans.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if anybody's out there's got an empty heady can and needs Lucky's address, hit me up.
No, absolutely not. I'm gonna move.
Yeah, let's see if we can't get him a good collection going.
Aw.
No, I'm
Just a
sipping
graveyard.
slow right
A
now.
graveyard of heady toppers.
No,
Yeah.
you wrote a great eulogy on the website, though. I didn't enjoy it, but it was good. I feel like if I said
didn't
I enjoyed
enjoy
it, that was
writing it.
mean.
Yeah, no, I didn't enjoy writing it. I was just sobbing the whole time. So
Look at the
Especially because we all
comments.
talked it up so much, too.
It's delicious. It is.
I feel like it gets brought up every single week.
Well,
I really
as
do.
it should. I mean, any beer podcast should bring up Hetty or Pliny at least once.
Yeah.
Or
And,
or Focal or Blind Pig.
yeah. I think there might be a focal banger out there too, but I'll save that. Hey, maybe I'll use that to lure brotherly love over the next time because that's another
You
good
don't,
one.
you don't need much to lose into the next one, man. Like I said, I'm already here. I'm learning to finesse the situation how you are. So I'm your Daniel's son, just Mr. Miyagi this shit out.
The wax on.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just a reminder, the donate button is up there. That is going to be the way you're entered for the Supreme bomber jacket.
We're already at 100.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. So it's a great organization for anybody that wasn't with us when Brothers Craft Brewing was on. Valley Program for Aging Services provides resources for the elderly there in their community. Great organization, great cause. Drop a few dimes, buckets, hundreds, thousands would be nice. Whatever you can spare, drop it in the bucket for them because it'll be good and you'll be entered for the drawing. That's how we're going to give that away tonight. Great cause. Here shortly, we have our next caller coming in, and I know we don't usually do two, but we may end up getting to this because I will tell you, MASH out there in West Yellowstone, Montana is crushing it with the talent we have lined up.
Man.
Even in West Yellowstone, he's texting us about on an hourly basis on guests that he has lined up for shows that are already about a month or 2 months out. So
We are booked through July 3rd as of right now.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah. Some beers
Every
and
single
shit
week
out
through
there,
July
man.
3rd.
yeah, that's awesome, man. And he's got some
4 or 5
great
others today.
he's got some great breweries lined up, some great nonprofits lined up here in the coming weeks. And tonight, in this next hour, he has lined up an awesome one with Weathered Souls Brewing. Obviously, the hot social topics of the times is equality and some issues going on around that. We're going to have Marcus on here shortly to talk about the Black is Beautiful Beer Initiative. And I will tell you,
Say it loud.
I am.
Over 200 breweries have so far come in on this. Man.
Wow. So it's gone up
200.
since I looked a few hours ago. Wow. That's awesome.
Oh, this is amazing. I can't.
This is yeah.
I'm fired up. Fired up.
Look, this is something that is like very important to me. So when we stumbled upon what Weathered Souls was doing, and we were like, man, we got to get them on. It doesn't even matter about the current whatever. This is something that day to day is really important to me and us. So as soon as we saw this going, we needed to help spread the word, and we were fortunate enough that Marcus was going to be able to take some time out of his. I can't even imagine the amount of interviews this man is doing right now.
Yeah.
Over 200 breweries they're coordinating with.
Right.
I've been talking to Kim from there, and she says that he's on call with interviews every hour of the day so far. So we are very fortunate that he'll be joining us tonight.
Right. Yeah, much appreciation for that. I can only imagine how much time and energies that takes to say the same thing but in a different way so that it can resonate with different people and still get the message across about what they're doing. So, yeah, no, we're super excited about that too.
So Tracy, I'm trying to keep up a little bit with the chat as well. Tracy commented in the Facebook feed there. She posted about the lady that was receiving the Civil War pension, $73.13 a month for the Civil War portion, or Civil War pension. I would like to think that if you were still around collecting the Civil War pension, you should be getting more than $73 a month.
Just for surviving that long.
I mean, dude, if you made it through that, and you're getting $73 a month,
maybe they capped it.
What are we?
Maybe they capped it at the time.
What are we doing?
Not taking care of the people that are taking care of us, by and large.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Thanks for that. Thanks for that information, Tracy. I definitely appreciate that. And she lived literally 30, 40 minutes from here. So
wow,
interesting tidbit that I seen on the news. I've reached out to Marcus, asked him to give us a call. So as soon as we get him on the line, we'll bring him into the conversation.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, we'll come back to me because I've got another beer from one of our contributors here.
I actually just picked up about 4.
Grand Teton
National Park series that I just picked up today.
Grand Teton Brewing. I will tell you, this is a tasty. It's Teton Range IPA. Teton Range IPA. That's a great beer, Mash. Tell us a little bit about it. We'll head back out to you.
That brewery brews all their beer with water from the Teton Mountains.
Yep. Hence the range there, which I respect that. Really awesome. I hadn't had a chance to sip it yet because I'm still on this heady topper, but
rub it in.
No, I'm not
Salt
rubbing
it
it in, but I am rubbing it in.
Just
all
like
the way.
heady topper.
Just twist the knife.
It's so it's so cold still. It's just chill still in my hand, and I'm gosh.
No.
See, and that's the beer it's okay to drink.
Cut his mic. I don't want to hear anymore.
Just sipping slow.
Cut his mic. I don't want to hear anymore.
So let's. I'm going to scroll down the list here. We got Brotherly Love on the camera.
All right.
Obviously, there's probably a few people that have had some of the AMB product. If you have any questions for Brotherly Love and his design and his kind of creative mind, maybe it's just a question of creative minds in general, go ahead and shoot them out there on the.
Yes.
I got one for you.
Yes.
You know, so every artist puts a little piece, something a little personal. Like some artists, they hide a little something in their art, right? Is there anything that you like to hide into your cans?
Yes.
That's like you know to look there, but I might not know to look there.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. There's a few of those little anomalies just floating around in the cans. But do you have a question about a specific can, or in general, or would you like me to share a story
I was just
about
thinking
one?
in general. Personally, in general, I just wasn't sure if you like to hide some things in your artwork on these cans or not.
Okay, so there's a story that I want to share actually about that. I'm glad you brought it up because this brother hit me up earlier today. So there's this with the Margarita Goza.
Yeah.
There's a you might have to look for it, but it's a SJ that is floating around the Margarita Goza can. And while I was designing the can, I had just finished up with it actually. This gentleman, he came to me. He said, "Hey, listen, it was a friend of a friend, and he had just lost his wife in childbirth. Like she came home and she did not make it through the 48 hours, 72 hours after childbirth, and she wanted me to do a painting for her as a memorial. So they do a celebration of life instead of a funeral, which is like the complete opposite. This is their life.
Yeah.
However, so he and I sat down. It was actually at the brewery, and he started explaining that margarita was her favorite drink in the world. And we were in the process of making this margarita Goza. And I was at that point where I was really low in inspiration. I've been giving my all when it comes to the cans and how to connect which way. And he and I sat down, and that night I just got this burst of inspiration. Maybe it was her spirit, maybe it was his story, maybe it was whatever the case was. But and somewhere in that can there are the initials SJ. It's Sarah J. So it's my personal dedication to his wife who bore their third child and passed in the process. And I dedicated that can to her.
Oh, I found it.
You found it?
I did. This can is gorgeous. Every little detail on here, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's little hops in here. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Let's go to Hoppy Mommy down there. Show us, kind of point out the general direction where that. And just real quick, Marcus, I do have you on call. You can probably hear the episode, but we'll be with you in just a second. So show us on that can where we can locate that at.
So if you're looking at the skull, just right of, I had to put my glasses on to see it. Just to the right of it. It's a little like a orangey red triangle. It's right there, SJ. Yeah. And that's, I hope they got cans I mean, that's something he should have cans or the label for his kids too, for when they're older.
Right. Yeah, no, we do. And he's, he reaches out on a regular basis, because we have that connection now, the connection between, you know, the can, but also the piece of art that connects his kids to their mom in a really interesting way on that end. But it was humbling, but it was scary. Like, how do you create something that allows this father to grieve, allows these kids to remember their mom in this really like big way, without effing up the process? Because it's like, oh my God, what if her eyebrow isn't right, and da 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 da, and all these different things. But also the essence of who she was, the essence of who she is, the spirit that she had. How do you capture that also in a way? And you know, sorry, not even sorry to say, but while I was going through this process, it really wasn't even thinking about what the brewery needed. It was thinking about like what this, like the assignment, but also how can I connect that to this woman who just gave her life trying to bring a life into this world. And so there was a few different conversations that happened, and I feel like it came together well. So
yeah, no, it's one of the prettiest labels I've ever seen. Jay posted it, I think, on Cinco de Mayo, and I was like, wow, that is a gorgeous can. I was not expecting to get one. So
yeah, I got one in my fridge at home too. I'm saving.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, just wanted to share the story behind that. And yeah, every can, every piece of art has a story. This one specifically just had a way deeper situation that happened. And yeah, no, the husband, he, you know, his name is Matthew. He's awesome. He has a bunch of them in his home, just ready to. I think special occasions is when he's come out for him. It reminds him of his wife.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. Let's check in with Marcus. Marcus, are you there? And are you on hold? Can you hear us now? You should be.
Yes, I can.
Awesome, man. So we've got Marcus Baxterville from Weathered Souls Brewing on the line. Marcus, we can't wait to hear your stories. So start out, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the beer industry.
Yeah, so I've been in the beer industry now for about 8 years. Started off home brewing, obviously. I'm originally from California, so I'm kind of a Texas transplant. Kind of took a promotion at my job, moved to Texas, and then basically in that process is still home brewing. So in the process of home brewing, ended up getting like a part-time job in between my fraud management job at another local brewery. And within brewing there for about a year, I had ended up garnishing a friendship with Mike, my business partner. And so we were basically drinking one day, and I looked at him and I was like, when are we going to open a brewery? And then he looked at me and he was like, I've been waiting for you to ask me that. And we literally got to work the next day. So yeah, we're approaching our 4-year anniversary this November. You know, we're a 20 barrel, about 12 vessel system in San Antonio. So
That's awesome.
Hey
Yeah,
Marcus, this is brotherly love. I've actually been really damn excited for you to get up here because, I'm just excited about it, man, and it's a lot of connective tissue that's here that can happen. But I wanted to ask you, the Black is Beautiful Beer Initiative, the balls it takes and the surety that it takes to even name something that. Where did that come from for you?
Well, it's part of being a prideful Black man, one. But two, basically, I just wanted to come up with a way to help. So, you know, these protests have been going on for about the last week or so. I was driving through Dallas last Friday night, listening to radio and seeing some of the stuff going on. And then some Saturday, they had the protest in San Antonio. I have two small children, you know, all that type of stuff. Most of my time is devoted to work. So typically Saturdays are times family time. So I didn't get to make it to the protest, and basically I was highly disappointed in myself as a Black man that I didn't participate, you know. And so I basically contemplated how I could use the platform that I have as a Black business owner and, you know, show some type of solidarity and some type of assistance. And so originally what I was going to do was just basically with the label, come out with our own beer and then release it, donate to like a local foundation. But then in the process of that, I sent the label to a couple of people just to kind of see what they thought. One of them being Jeff from Jester King. And basically he challenged me to make it bigger than what my original plans were. Right. So I contemplated over the night how I could do that. Pretty much was up the next 24 hours. So that was like Sunday afternoon. Me and Jeff had that conversation. And then basically I had the initiative to my business partner and employees by 11:30 the next morning. So it was pretty much 24 hours trying to formulate a plan of how we were going to execute this. And that's what I ended up coming up with. So basically, you know, what the Black is Beautiful initiative is basically calling upon the brewing industry. You know, we have a very eclectic source of customer base now. There's a lot of persons of color, a lot of different demographics that have started drinking beer, even on the brewing side and just industry side in general. And so I thought it would be just a super dope idea to kind of call on the breweries, kind of like what Other Half did with the All Together thing and Sierra Nevada did with the fire release, and see if, you know, we could get the same type of response.
Well, from what I understand so far, there's about 200 plus breweries that are coming on board with you to be able to help uplift this initiative. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. Like, can you give some light to that?
Yeah.
Like, there's been a lot of breweries, about 200 breweries that have been.
So we are sitting at around 290 right now.
The last time I checked,
300. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're almost at 300.
Last time I checked,
so you figure.
What?
Yeah, it's been what, 2.5? Yeah, 2.5 days.
Well, because it's palpable. It's in the moment and it's important. And I'm sorry, like Marcus, I've been saving this fire. I'm brotherly love.
Definitely.
I'm brotherly love. I've been in the craft beer industry as a creative director of a local brewery here in Boone, Appalachian Mountain Brewery. So on the different level of not just serving, not even say just, these people is just as important. So I don't want to dilute anything that they have to do. But on the level of like the thinkers and makers when it comes to like how the imagery and the storytelling of the brewery is going to happen for the last half a decade. When I go to GABF, it's not a lot of brothers running through those facilities, and you're just like, oh my God, what a brother. And so to especially in a time like this, and to have that, like, I understand that, but the power that brings and the emphasis that you've brought to the voices that are screaming out and yelling out for that type of independence right now with this project. One of the things that I feel like you realize that we cannot do that alone. Like, we may try and we may have the resources in our current neighborhoods and our current environment. However, we have a whole pool of people who want to genuinely love and back us, which are the breweries that said, no, enough is enough. This is where we stand. And I just want to let you know, shade color not, that I back you, and I plan on involving myself in your initiative on the creative end. So I would like to have a space to where we can talk about that at some point in time, because this is amazing, man. This is amazing what you're doing. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, originally, like, when
300, it's almost 300. That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah, like the response from the brewing community has been amazing. I mean, even to the point to where other breweries have reached out just to offer assistance outside of, brewing the beer itself in any way that exists. So, like Jeff from Jester King's been a huge mentor for a few years now. Sam Richardson from Other Half reached out and basically offered up his entire portfolio from the Altogether initiative to assist us through. So we actually have a new website that's about to launch tonight that the Stout Collective went ahead and offered and did for us. They were the ones who did the Altogether website. So we're actually getting a new website tonight with some updated features, different things like that. So yeah, the community itself has been pretty amazing as far as the response so far. Like, originally, when I was trying to plan this, I was like, man, maybe we'll get like 150, 200 breweries. But then, like, to hit that goal within 2 days, definitely like a humbling experience to know that we have that many people with us that are going to support us.
Yeah, I can tell you, Marcus, we had on Other Half Brewing on Sunday for a show to do the Altogether beer with our Brew Witch in Germany. An amazing beer to begin with, but I will tell you, 300's a big number. Dude, you guys aren't even there yet. I will tell you right now, this number is going to grow huge.
Oh, it's going to be, it's going to grow tenfold.
Yeah, this is going to be a big number. So I'm excited for you guys. So is it kind of the same concept as the Altogether, as the local or the breweries that brew this recipe? I'm assuming you're going to post a recipe. Brewers are going to brew it, label it, and then commit to donating the proceeds for the batch. Is that correct? Is that the take?
Mm-hmm. Correct. So originally, when we set up the initiative, it was we were going to set up a recipe, set up a label, and then ask for the breweries to donate part of the proceeds. But then, actually, after speaking to some people in the industry, it was actually their suggestion that hey, this cause is a little bigger than just a partial donation. So with the update of the website, we'll be sending out a newsletter. We'll basically be asking breweries to donate 100% of the proceeds from this particular beer to the basically organization of their choice. The only thing that we ask is that it's something that's local, so you can kind of spread the love over the country. Well, really, the world at this point. We've had Japan, Germany, Ireland.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Rwanda hit us up and reached out. Yeah, so it's crazy. Yeah, how far that is. Yeah, Rwanda.
Wow.
And so it's crazy about the amount of people that have actually, went ahead and reached out to support. So we're going to do 100% of proceeds. But even then, we've had a lot of sponsors reaching out, wanting to offer help. So I know, let's see, White Labs is going to be helping out. Imperial Yeast is going to be helping out. BSG is offering 2,200 pounds of Cascade. Pretty much all the brewer has to do is pay for shipping. A lot of people are reaching out to us to be able to help the project. So it's definitely turning into a bigger thing than what I originally thought it was going to be.
Word of advice in that: never let them forget the origin, like where this originated it and connect it to in that, because I think that's a lot of the what a lot of people are frustrated about. Once that brilliance comes in and it gets taken, all it takes is one bad apple to take that initiative and take that idea and turn it into something that it was not intended to be. And for you in your brewery to have that insight and that love and that connected to the community, to be able to use your platform and use that in a way that would help in whatever way that brewery decides. Like this is not a time and a place for anybody to bastardize it. And if they do, they will pay the consequences.
Yeah,
really loves coming down there.
No, I got family. You in Florida. I'm born and raised, baby. I got family in Florida. They will roll up in a minivan, okay, with metal things in their hands, okay, and they will come see you at your church steps and be like, we'll have that conversation. But no, I'm proud of you, man. I'm very, very, very proud of you on so many different levels and excited about what's going on. Yeah, there's a fear factor there because of the unknown. But other than that, man, people are coming together, black, white, and in between. People are coming together behind a coin of justice, behind a coin of like fairness. And the reality of it is that America is not going to ever be America unless there's an equal access to accessibility when it comes to information, when it comes to resources and things like that. Yes, it'll probably never be 100%, but we can get it way further down the line than we are right now in 2020.
So my question though is, when are we going to be able to go out and buy this beer? Like, do you have an idea of once all these breweries get the recipe and everything? Where?
Well, so the recipe is already available. I know that a few breweries have already reached out about releasing it. As for us, we're brewing it tomorrow. So we have like a local news company coming to film the brewing and all that good stuff. So we're gonna get it in tomorrow. So we're looking at releasing the first week of July. Me personally, I've thought about doing it the 4th of July to kind of make a statement. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens with. We'll see what the East says.
4th of July?
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, can I have a quick question? Is there already a label attached to this? Is there an official universal label?
Yeah, so we have a label. And so that was another thing. Originally, we had a label and we had it split off to where basically breweries could go ahead and add their own artwork to it. But then we thought, the message, as many breweries that potentially might participate, we won't want the message to get lost. So basically, we removed that portion. Basically, left a section for them to include their logo, and then that's what we'll be rolling with for.
Right.
Perfect.
Right.
So, Marcus, I have to check your list again. If there are no Idaho breweries on there, I'll check or let me know, and I'll make sure we get some of them on there. I work with a lot of those guys, but it's something I want to see out where I'm at in Idaho. So if there's nobody on that list from there, I'll do some due diligence and get on out there.
Let's see. We can look right now. So there's Western Collective participating. Garden City.
Okay. I know there's some big ones. Like we're gonna have a couple of ones on here, but I'll put that word out for sure because this is something that it's.
Oh, definitely. Please share.
It's important to me too. I mean, this is something that I love to see. We all really, really got to come together, just love one another. So. I love what y'all are doing. I was just as stoked, not as stoked maybe, but I'm through the roof to have this whole initiative on here and push it out to everybody.
Yeah, and the fact that you could find time in your day to talk to us, I'm sure you are swamped right now. I can only imagine. And I mean, you saw all our reaction when you said like you were almost to 300.
I was over here like, oh God,
I almost jumped out of my chair.
Yeah. So
It's been a really good reception.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, there's been a few breweries from Florida that are participating too.
Yeah, I saw Tampa Beer Works. I saw Central 28. I saw Wakefield. Yeah.
So Jeff,
I'm sure there will be
What about
more.
Wisconsin, Marcus?
so Marcus, real quick, this is Jay Brew. Jeff, one of the viewers in the Facebook feed wants to know, will the website have the list of breweries participating?
Yes. So right now there's a scrolling list on the old website, but there will be one of the new features that come up tonight. You'll actually be able just to go ahead and search the brewery. You can search for it by name and state, and then everything will actually just be in alphabetical order, and you can scroll through and look at everybody involved. And
Awesome.
then the names of breweries that are going to participate will update twice a day. So 11:30 a.m. and then 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, that's great. So the standard question, one of the standard questions, I have two for you that I want to ask, and they're very beer-centric. When we pick up this Black is Beautiful beer, what are we going to drink? Because I'm going to find some somewhere, even if we have to take a road trip, brother.
I'm
We love to
down.
pick
Hey,
some up.
listen,
We're going to pick up a case or 3 or 6 somewhere for sure.
So for us, I'm a huge stout person.
Oh.
So with our beer, it's going to be very viscous, 10%. Ours will probably fall around 10.5. Basically, very thick. We're pretty much known for our, the body of beers that we
Did
create.
you say very
stout,
thick with body?
It's going to be very. It's going to be.
Talking your game,
It's going to be. It's going to be very viscous. Kind of some notes of with some dark chocolate, roasted coffee. The base stout is going to be very classic imperial stout. But with us, a little more richer chocolate and then a larger body than what you would typically get. And then we're probably going to end up doing some type of adjunct version. We have some really good friends here locally that do adjuncts really well, Eastwood Street Brewing. And so I have my homie JD coming tomorrow. They're actually a Mexican brewery, Mexican brewer, Mexican owned. And so I have them coming through and we're going to get down on part of the recipe. And so we'll probably be releasing 2 batches at our brewery.
Hey, you got to put some in some peppers. Put some peppers in one of them.
I see a variety pack coming along.
Yeah.
Because I will guarantee you, man, there's going to be different parts of the country / just different parts of the world that do great at what they do to say, hey, I've remixed this recipe in a way to to still send a message. You might have a variety pack in front of you with this initial recipe that that is going to be pretty damn amazing.
I'd like to have a barrel-aged version because this sounds very.
So there has been some breweries that reached out already about doing a barrel-aged version. We'll be doing one ourselves. Skit from Will Work that they'll be doing one. So yeah, it should be fun.
I love it, and that's a great way because everyone says, don't. Anytime a tragedy happens, it's please don't forget about us next week, next month, next year. Well, you barrel age that, and everybody's coming back 6 months later, a year later. I mean, it's great strategy.
Yeah, and everybody's production schedules are different. And so, people are hitting us up, hey, our tanks are full right now. Is this something that we have to get out right now? And I've been telling everybody no, because it's not like this issue is going anywhere anytime soon. So if you were to brew this beer, 3-4 months from now, it's still making an impact. You're still making that donation. You're still helping out your local entities. You're still showing that you're supporting diversity. You're still showing you're supporting equality. And that's the most important thing with the message. So, as far as everybody,
even making it an annual thing.
It's better.
Yeah. So the most important thing is
because, like you said, people this is something that's going to keep people fresh in their minds. It's so easy for a lot of folks to just forget, but this isn't something that we're
especially when they're not affected by it every day. Yeah.
Exactly. This isn't something we can just let go away.
Preach.
Push it out throughout the year. Keep it fresh in everybody's minds.
Yeah.
Marcus, the question we ask every brewing guest on our show, if the 5 of us tonight, were to walk into your tap room and belly up to that bar, what are you going to serve us?
So if it is the first time in our brewery, more than likely I will give you a flight. That flight is going to consist of our West Coast IPA. I'm a huge West Coast fan, especially being from California. We're going to give you our Mexican lager, Dale Shine, which is a pretty popular local beer that we have. And then the other thing that we typically specialize in specialty releases, small batch stuff. So more than likely it's going to be some type of heavy adjunct stout, and then possibly some type of fruity stout.
Yeah, you're talking Hoppy's love language over there, talking flights. So I know she's going to be all about that. So.
Yeah,
I definitely.
I'm usually not a flight person. I like to have that full pint. But when you just, you go someplace sometimes and you just can't choose, it's like you don't have an option. But when you said adjunct stout, that's you got me there.
Talk to me.
Adjunct stouts and hazy IPAs.
any season, stout season.
And we have a few hazies on too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always stout season for me.
in San Antonio, obviously that's hot too. I live in Florida, so to me, it's always stout season.
Listen, girl, we gonna talk later. You need to calm your britches right now. I tell you. All right. I know the man said adjunct, but I'm gonna need to calm your britches right now. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, every season in Texas is stout season because it doesn't get too chilly down there like it does up here. So you better be drinking stouts year round. Marcus, what else do
we make them year round?
Yeah, that's awesome. What else do we need to know about yourself and Weathered Souls Brewing? Because you've told an amazing story so far. What are we missing?
Which we appreciate.
I wouldn't say you're missing anything. I mean, we're the ones putting it on, but we're not the focus of what the initiative is. So, it's just more so us here to get this kicked off, to spark, something within everybody and hope that it expands, everywhere. And I'm hoping that basically the craft beer industry can be the forefront, to other industries that are around, that, inclusion and equality are a very important thing, and everybody should be treated the same. And so I'm hoping that basically, this leads to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I will tell you, I appreciate what you're doing, and I'll be the first one to admit the brother that I'm sitting across from, there are no more polar opposites than him and I.
We've had all kinds of back and forth. He know how I feel about his guy. I know how he feels about my guy.
But I love that dude like he's blood. So I definitely appreciate what you guys are doing, and I applaud you guys for stepping out on that limb. Obviously, I'm sure just like everybody, you take a stance and you kind of hear the good and bad behind it. So I definitely appreciate what you guys are doing and kind of taking that torch and bearing it, because as I've told this man several times, when the world gets like this, everybody just needs a hug.
Yeah, big ass hug.
But we're not allowed to hug each other right now.
Well,
it's all about understanding.
It can be an online hug. It can be it can be all kinds of hugs, and that hug is a connection and an embrace, and however you need to have that connection and embrace, that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, I can tell you, if the assholes of the world would just drink a beer and hug each other, shit would be a lot better for everybody.
It would make a huge difference. Yep.
Yeah, man. Marcus, man, we appreciate you, and I can't wait. Can we have you back on when we can start to get some of this beer and drink it and talk about it?
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know, and I'll definitely be on and chat.
Marcus, this is Brother
I'll
Love.
be in touch then. Hell yeah.
I plan on reaching
Matt,
out to
our
you very
closer,
soon
will be in touch.
and I would like to see what I can do to help move the initiative forward in the collaborative sense. Is that okay?
No, definitely. I would love your support in any capacity, and shoot me an email and we can figure it out.
I'll bring the neck bones.
Man, I can't wait to see this. Yeah, this is a big dude.
I make some pretty good greens, so
hey, bro, let's do that there. I'm over here throwing up the Wakanda.
Yeah. Hey, Marcus, we appreciate you, man. And I tell you what, we look forward to maybe we'll figure out somebody down in your area that can set us up with a beer exchange and get some of your July beer up to us. So maybe sometime in July we'll talk to you and talk about what we experience in this beer, because we would definitely love to bring you back on and support your local initiative that you guys are supporting on the show. So
we might have to get on the road also.
Hey, we could do it for sure.
Let's do it.
All right, Marcus, appreciate your time, man. I know you are extremely busy, man, so appreciate your time and good luck down there and look forward to following the success.
And we appreciate you guys supporting the initiative.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good night. Cheers.
All right, you too.
Cheers.
All right.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
don't.
excited.
I don't even know where the hell we go from here. I'll be honest with you.
You know what?
I know where Tommy's going
from here because I had a.
I know where Tommy's going to go from here.
Topper, so I'm going.
Bringing up the heady topper.
Yeah.
I got my heady topper. I'll be back in like 3 minutes.
So this is typically. Let's go check in with Hoppy down in Florida. Hoppy's. There we go.
So I just opened a hazy IPA from Parrish, Dr. Juice, and I have it in. I did Marvel trivia earlier, so I poured it in my incredible hops mug. So I haven't tried it yet because there's a lot ahead, but this smells amazing.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. We'll stay here for the first sips. Enjoy what it is that you're enjoying.
This brewery's from Louisiana. I don't know if anybody's had it. Parrish Brewing. They actually have the Ghost in the Machine double IPA, which is amazing. And it was actually at Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival this year. And I was all excited about it. It was going to be the main topic of my article for Hops News, which I never posted because the festival only lasted 2 weeks. Womp womp womp. I was so excited. I did get to drink one though. I had a Ghost in the Machine double IPA at Epcot, and it was amazingly delicious.
Nice. I'm still sipping on the Grand Tetons. Let's go check in with MASH out there in West Yellowstone. Hey, MASH, for one, I'm proud of you that you're still with us. I appreciate you hanging in there. Your signal is dying a little bit. You're a little bit scrambled, but we definitely appreciate you hanging in there like a champ. What are you drinking out there?
Yeah, my time might be a little short here soon, but I popped open a Hazer's Gonna Haze, some Belching Beaver. You check the Instagram. I took a couple good pictures out there in the mountains of Yellowstone today, so I'll be posting that one soon. But it's a nice little IPA. It's pretty good. Gotta say, really smooth, not too hoppy for being an 8%er.
Yeah, man, that looks good.
Where do you get the Belching Beaver? Do they deliver, or do you have somebody who sends it to you?
It's in it's in our beer. Yeah, I can go pick it at the grocery store. They have it here.
Nice.
So for whatever reason, it's all over the place here. I see mostly the peanut butter milk stout is the big one I see. So
the Belching Beaver. MASH is definitely a Belching Beaver fan. This is not the first Belching Beaver that MASH has had.
I feel like I need to have one of those then.
I know. I think he sent one. Did you send one this way, MASH?
I think either me or I can't remember, honestly.
Mash, come on, Mash.
Yeah.
Get to the next box.
Mash, I like the Beaver, Mash. Come on, man.
Hey, just for you, Brother Lee, I'm gonna send a special little box.
Nice.
All right, put the Beaver in the box.
Just a box of beaver.
Send it on
Beaver
over.
in a box.
Send it on over.
Let's
everybody.
Let's
My
go.
time here has come to an end tonight. I have to cut my portion short. Got a little extra things going on tonight, so
hopefully they're good things, brother.
and I'm glad I got to stick around for Marcus. This is, like I was saying, I can't understate it. I don't know how that's something that it really means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to a lot of people out there. So if we can continue to push this and make it grow, I'm all in. Whatever we can do to help push that movement out.
We're all here for each other, brother.
Important to not be forgotten about. And Brother Lee, man, I hope you join us in some pods soon.
You goddamn right I am.
I want to have some future discussions with you, man.
Yeah, man. I love connecting with people on this level and learning everything. I am the first to admit that I don't know a goddamn thing about another. So when we have these conversations, I'm 2 ears open.
People that never, So anytime we can get together, we'll get together offline.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, Mash, tell us where we can find you before you sign off here. Tell us where we can, the viewers can find you on social media and how they can keep track of where the Nomadic Mash the Closer. We've talked about this a little bit earlier, but Mash has got a new title within Hops News. He's the closer because this dude is making it happen.
Title to guest liaison or something. Yeah, if anybody has any breweries that they want on the show, reach out to me. There's nothing I love more than reaching out to breweries, people, connecting. I've been doing a lot of that lately. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Matthew Tyler. And then hey, if you even want to add me on Facebook, go ahead, shoot me a message, add me on there. It's just my name. So hopefully I look forward to talking to y'all soon and next Thursday, folks.
All right.
See you then, brother. Cheers.
Peace.
Thanks for being on the show, man. Thanks for sharing your presence, sharing your knowledge and experience. Hey, watch out for those bears, man.
Hey, if you don't hear from me after tomorrow, we're spending a full day and evening out in the woods. If I go Instagram silent after tomorrow, send the search crew out.
Listen, I'll send the search crew out, but I'm gonna let him know he did it to himself. He knew it was bears out, he knew there was moose out, and it was hunting season, and it was mating season. So there you go.
All right, let's go check in with Lucky in Wisconsin, up in the cheese capital.
Cheese.
Lucky, what you sipping on up there tonight now?
He just got off, but this is one that Mash sent me. It's the Hyatt Brewing. It's a Saucer Boy. It's a double hazy IPA, and I'm loving it. It's super smooth for a double IPA. Yeah, big fan. I'm sad he got off.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome. That I will tell you, Mash. That dude knows his beers, man. That guy sends some. Yeah, man. He in his box, there was nothing that disappointed at all. I mean, that dude sends some great beers for sure.
Yeah. I still haven't drank a lot. I feel like I have to any beer that I find is extra good, I feel like I have to savor it. It has to be a day I have a clean palate to freshly enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he sent some amazing ones my way that I still haven't drank. I still have a lot of the Appalachian too. And now I just got Lucky's. That New Glarus though, that's just a nice, good ale. We drank it, or Mash and I both drank them last night, and yeah, it was amazing.
Which ones you have?
Yeah, I think that's my go-to. I can drink that anytime, anywhere, any mood.
It's the one Jay just finished, I think.
Yep, the Spotted Cow. That's the only New Glarus I have in there. But that's just, I think it's the perfect, anytime, anywhere beer.
Right.
We're going to check in. Let's check in with Brotherly Love again. He's sipping on another one of his...
But
his label creations there, right?
Well, we can do a quick shameless promotion.
Yeah, man. And I think I sent this to some of you guys. Maybe I don't remember. Did I send anybody else
this? This artwork.
Well,
no, I don't think that one looks familiar.
No, so this is a different. So there's a Cloud Pleaser series. Oh, this is all kind of weird and wonky.
It's having a hard time. There you go. Because your face is there too. There you go.
I mean,
it's trying to. Hey, black is beautiful. It's trying to get.
Action out the beautifulness and balance that shit out. If I was a camera, I wouldn't know what to do. I get it. No, but So the Cloud Pleaser series. So this one actually is a juicy hazy IPA, and this is a Space Cloud series. The Space Cloud, and there's an Avalanche, there's a milk stout Cloud Pleaser. There's about 7 different in this project that I'm really excited about. I'm really happy about. But what I try my best to do is to stay somewhat sober while I'm designing them and afterwards, so I can really take it in. But every now and again, you kind of have to, dive into the fruits of your labor and take that in. So
yes, sir.
I appreciate this, especially what's going on right now.
Yeah. Let's check in with Lucky again. Lucky, people want to see the view out your apartment, man.
Does Lucky have a view?
Lucky's
Does Lucky have a view?
Lucky's a pimp, man.
I'm gonna come. Oh, come on now. You can't. His mama might be listening. You can't just call him a pimp like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at this dude.
He might be a good church boy.
Yeah, look at this dude's apartment, man. That's in Milwaukee,
I'm not gonna show you the
Wisconsin.
rest of the
There's not too many
apartment,
buildings in
but
Milwaukee, Wisconsin taller than his.
Lucky,
True,
what are
it's
you
very
doing in
true. I'm on the
Wisconsin
12th
right
floor. I've got a
now?
nice view.
What are you
Yeah.
doing out there? What are you doing
Golden
out
hour
there?
right now. It's sunset, so here it is.
Nice.
Big fan.
Not mad at that.
That's awesome. So Brad said he just opened a focal and a perfect can heady in honor of you guys. Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's a brewery that's doing good things up there in Vermont. If anybody has the opportunity to go up there and check out those breweries up there, they're making. I will say 2 of the best IPAs that I've ever drank is right there, about 45 minutes apart from each other, between Alchemist and Lawson's. It is a great time in Burlington, Vermont.
I gotta get to Burlington. My man's up there. My man's in them is up there.
Yeah. So that is a great place to go hang out. Some great beers and definitely an interesting place. But those 2 breweries are amazing breweries.
But they got so much more up there too, man. You got to do Hill Farmstead, which is like 20 minutes from the Alchemist, if that. And then there's Prohibition Pig, which is in their old location. And I mean, I could go on. And I was there for 3 days, and I could go on and on and on like I lived there. How amazing the beer was.
You're like the beer Miss Fizzle. Like you're like the Magic School Bus of beers, and you're just taking everybody on these.
Magic School Bus. I love it. I'm gonna get one of those dresses.
And that makes sense. You're the Miss Fizzle. You're like the Miss Fizzle beers, and like you're just like, yeah, let's take you on the ride. This is amazing.
You guys like hazy IPAs? I know just the place to go.
I know just the place. We could be on the goddamn left side of the moon. It's like, you know what? This crater has the best IPAs on it. Like what?
Yeah.
I love it. Congrats. I'm really happy that you have all this insight. Do you like travel around and get all of these? Yeah.
As much as my husband allows me to, yes.
Okay, first of all, girl, let me tell you something.
When we were in Denmark, I think it was one of my favorite beer vacations. But no, Denmark, like there's certain places I go in that I want to go back. And like I would say Denmark and San Diego and Vermont are the places where it's like I feel like as many times as I go, I'll need to keep going back for more beer.
So Denmark, San Diego, and Vermont.
What about San Diego and Vermont?
No, you said those are the places that you just chimed in on.
Yeah,
Denmark
and Denmark as well.
Denmark.
Just because they just have so much, and I feel like even living in Central Florida, or even I don't know when the last time was you were in Miami. It's like there's constantly new breweries and constantly new amazing things these breweries are doing. So it's like I can't keep up with my own community, let alone these places I've vacationed at. And I mean, everybody, and they're doing more than making amazing beer. You're meeting amazing people. It's like when I went to Belching Beaver, I sat there, I was with my husband and my brother-in-law and his wife, and it was the 4 of us, and I wandered up to the bar, and then I spent the rest of the time just talking to the one guy that was working there about beer. Yeah. And it's like you just meet all these, I mean, you can just become instant best friends with anybody else who likes beer. And it's amazing. We went to Stone, and I'm drinking Pliny on draft, talking to other people who are traveling. You also meet a bunch of different travelers. And I mean, when we went to Copenhagen, we're at the Carlsberg Beer Museum. It's like just amazing. And we're finding out how awesome the Danes were during World War II and how they were like, screw you, Nazis. And it was while drinking really good beer that's not just the Carlsberg lager you're used to. And then seeing all these old beer bottles, and it was amazing.
Well, first of all, you can't beat Nazis with bad beer. That's just not going to happen. You can't beat Nazis with bad beer. But, yeah, I'm glad.
Captain America and good beer.
Exactly. Yeah, the first time back in a couple years, I'm really, really excited and humbled to be able to share this moment, share the stage with you guys. Like, I will be back again. I'm gonna let my my sensei here school me on a few different things, but as far as right now, this is really exciting, and I'm excited and happy to see what it's gonna turn into.
So with that, let's talk some beer, some hops news. Man, I will tell you, when they posted this job, I was very close to pulling the trigger on this one. Devil's Backbone is hiring a chief hiking officer. They're going to pay a dude. Lucky, what's the amount they're going to pay this guy?
They said in total it'll be about $25,000, but it'll be like at $20,000 is like the salary. The other $5,000 is just like other stuff that's going to come with it, essentially.
So they're going
$20,000 is what you get from start to finish.
So they're going to hire a CHO for $20,000 to $25,000 a year to hike the Appalachian Trail. I will tell you, that's an amazing gig. That is, to hike the Appalachian Trail and promote Devil's Backbone, obviously, as a brand. That's the gig. Man,
I know about 5 boonies that would be all over that.
Man,
Don't tell them this is mine. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Is it all you?
Lucky's applying.
Hey, there's a calendar that comes with it. All right.
Hey, let's go check back in with Lucky up there and see what's going on. Lucky, tell us about the process you're under. What can we expect? What are you doing? What's the timeline? Tell us a little bit more about this.
So they're taking applications up until September 1st, I believe, or July 31st or whatever. But yeah, so they're taking applications for 2 months. I'm going to try to get mine in early. I am for sure applying for this. I want this job badly. But yeah, so basically what you first have to do is go through and submit like something small on just like fill out a random questionnaire that they have, and then a 1-minute video or 1 minute just saying why you should be the one that's hired. And I'll be putting that all out this weekend. I'll be blogging all of it. And yeah, I hope to hear back. I'd like to also really I'd really like to get them on one of these Hoppy Hours too, if we could. Reach out. I think it's a cool thing that they're doing, and awesome marketing.
Let's do it. So we'll stay with Lucky up there in Wisconsin, but I don't know who Lucky works for, but I will tell you, in my experience in the accounting world, this is pretty common. Lucky, is this a situation where you can walk away for a year and come back to your same job, same position, same rate, is this kind of that situation, or are you just walking away from what you're doing and saying the hell with it and going to be a chief hiking officer?
No, I mean, I as far as accounting goes, I love my position. I love where I'm at. I'm working for U.S. Bank currently, but it's very much like we have tons and tons of accountants. I can definitely walk away for an extended period of time if need be, and then come back to my job. So
lucky man,
I'm excited.
Lucky, this is brotherly love talking to you.
One of the perks of accounting. Doesn't change a whole lot. Doesn't change a whole lot when you step away for a little bit. So this is, if I get this, I think they would be very happy for me being out there, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely gonna take it seriously. I want to apply, and I want to see if I can.
Well, I'm gonna. You're gonna shoot the video. I will help you with the back end production, and I'm gonna volunteer some brotherly love time. If we need any graphics, any stank to put on it, we'll help you make that happen, because I will tell you, me personally, man, if I could do what you're doing, I would have done it in a heartbeat, because you'll never ever have that sort of time in your life other than where you're at today. So
Lucky, we can do this, Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky, you can
if there's anything we can do to help you, man.
This is part of your destiny, Lucky. Don't let anybody tell you that this is not part of your destiny.
Even if you need to use my address as your home address.
Yeah, we're not talking about that right now.
This is why I don't put him on the air. He says shit like that. Like we're trying to get
moving with you guys down there, Jay.
He's the type of person who uses the government name in the bank robbery. Like,
yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing that.
No. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. I'm in North Carolina right now by Spirit, because Wisconsin might not be on the list, but whatever. That's a later problem. I'm still going to submit the application. I'm still going to blog about it, go through the process.
Yeah,
and I
man.
think,
So let's
it'd
put-
still be awesome to talk to him about it.
Yeah, let's put this out there. If there's any like whiz bang video production guys on Brotherly Love's level, man, hit us up because we will pay well in beer to get you to put some stank on Lucky's video.
Yeah, to get you to put some stank.
Yeah, we will. I will tell you, between a great video production guy and Brotherly Love, if this dude doesn't win this, I don't know anybody else that will.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I will definitely be a big supporter because if we can get some Lucky out there on the Appalachian Trail, I'll meet you. I will meet you. Yeah, everybody needs to get lucky on that trail for sure.
If you don't show up with a T-shirt that says "Everybody needs to get lucky on that trail," you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, dude, these are coins, Lucky. You need to be writing this down, okay? You need to be writing this down, and you need to be applying this situation. We're trying to show you how to get a job /career/legacy, okay?
Hey, that's
And you
definitely.
gotta do like a video journal, so when you come back,
Exactly.
you saw it first at Hops News.
Yeah, that is.
Exactly. Change your
I mean,
license
you may have
plate.
to edit it depending on how lucky you get.
Change your license plate to get lucky. Okay, come with a T-shirt that says everybody should get lucky on the trail. Okay,
It comes
start a podcast. Start a podcast before you even get there about getting lucky on the trail.
Yeah.
That way they're like, oh my God, he already got the job. He already did the thing.
So if you get lucky on the trail, it comes with a T-shirt, is what you said? Is that what I heard?
Of course, it comes with a T-shirt.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
Yeah. Hey, this is why this guy's involved in Hops News. Lucky, if you promote this like this, you're and I will tell you,
Take notes.
if Devil's Backbone doesn't hire you, there will be a company that hires you to hike the Appalachian Trail, and everybody gets lucky on the trail.
Exactly. See, dude, we just gave you $1 million nugget right now. All I want is 5%. Okay, just 5.
Yeah.
Wait, 5% of what?
Just all of the merch. All the merch.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, man, yeah, it's gonna work out for you. How every angle that you.
What's the Trojan? Who else do we need to hit up?
My head's still
Trojan.
out there. You said every
No,
angle.
no, no. We're not hitting up anybody right now. Like, they're not paying us for airtime. We ain't hitting up anybody. We're hitting up the people who are talking right now because those are the significant
awesome.
factors right now. Anybody else can go and make biscuits.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Biscuits.
We're gonna go back to Lucky out there in Wisconsin. Lucky, I think you got the brainchilds right here. We're gonna make you
His
famous,
name is
man.
Fucking Lucky.
Yeah,
like,
man.
how much low hanging fruit
And then
do you
in
need?
10, we're gonna make Hops News famous.
How
man.
much
man.
low hanging fruit do you need?
We're gonna have Lucky getting lucky on the trail with Hops News
Exactly.
live,
Get
live
lucky.
on the
He
Appalachian
deserves it. What
Trail.
happened to that Hetty? Like, I mean, he has this coming to him.
Yep.
Hey, I bet you can get that
Yeah.
Alchemist
Yep.
would sponsor that, man. You'd have more damn heady topper than you know what to do.
Heady top. Listen. I already do. I already do.
He's getting some heady. Lucky's getting some heady. That's all.
I like it. There you go. There it is.
Hey, this is a family channel. This is a family channel, goddammit. Let me tell you something, okay? I prayed this morning
This is
and
how
I fasted
marketing
2 times.
works,
Hallelujah.
right?
I don't need this shit in my life,
Yeah.
okay? Get it together.
And just so you guys know, this is really the behind the scenes on marketing and advertising at beer companies. This is the type of conversations that are happening in tap rooms all over the place, and they come up with some damn wild ass brand of beer that ends up making it halfway decent. But that's
Hey,
awesome. I can't wait to see your video, Lucky.
Lucky,
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Lucky, go online
Yeah.
right now. Because there's somebody listening to me right now who's just as lucky as you are. And they're like typing up they're typing up URLs right now. You better get something right now that's like Lucky on the Trail and make that shit happen.
Yeah.
'Cause somebody's doing it.
You know what?
I've seen this happen before. I've heard this happen before.
As soon as we get off.
Yeah.
You better,
Need to
goddamn, you better
copyright
do it. You
that.
better do
Lucky
it.
on the trail.
No, yeah.
Hey,
I'm
guess
gonna
what? Because
trademark it right now.
$29.99 a year is not
worth
worth
it.
it's worth your future being attacked. I tell you what.
This is trademark. Get
Yeah,
lucky
and get
on
all
the
the-
trail. Get
Trademark
lucky
it,
on the
man,
trail.
from the balls to the walls. Trademark your shit, man.
Yeah.
Lucky, balls
Hey.
to the walls and on the trail.
Yep. Lucky on the Trail. Get all of the accounts you can right now secured because you're going to need them. You will need them.
I bet like as soon as when we get off this, he's actually like right now typing it into Google.
Hey, I would
better be because I'm about to, and I'm gonna sell it back to your ass for a 15% hike up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, it's been a great episode. We'll go back here to the main. Let's check it out. We got the three of us now. Been a great episode, guys. I definitely appreciate you. Hate Mash couldn't hanging around, but let's talk about what we have coming up here. Next week, we're going to have Marco, the head brewery from Loose Screw Brewing in Boise, Idaho, and talk about their involvement with the food bank. So another great organization there. A couple weeks out, we have Boise Brewing Company, and then we have Payette Brewing Company. You can see that we're pretty Idaho heavy here in the beginning. Yeah. We've kind of left MASH as our closer to close these deals and get us some talent signed up in some of these breweries, and he's done an excellent job. We will also save the second hour in a lot of these upcoming episodes for kind of current events. There's already been a couple of that we've reached out to try to wrap up and get them involved in this as well. Thursdays, Hoppy Hour, 8 p.m. Eastern, always here on Facebook. You can find us. We are in the process of planning our next international edition of Hoppy Hour, which if you missed it was... And that was awesome. And I think this next one... I
wasn't there for it, but I got to watch, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty cool episode. And what we're going to try to do with this next one is to involve Pink Boot Society and their effort to involve more females in the beer industry. And that's a pretty cool cause. So hopefully we'll have some great brewers on to talk about their involvement. Social medias. Lucky, where can we find you right now before we find you at Lucky on the Trail?
Lucky on the Trail. I am going to go sign up for that right now everywhere, so nobody take it.
Yo, you better, dude. You better do that right now. I'm telling you, man, because this is about to be your thing that, it's happened. It's happened here, and it happened now. And I'm telling you, that's what this community collaboration thing is about. That brainchild just happened. Takes a village. Goddamn, just happened.
Absolutely.
Change your Instagram handle.
Yep, no. I'll be changing that as soon as we get off, but right now it's luckman.nick. It's fine.
What is it now?
Luckman.nick.
Come on, man.
I know.
I mean, come on. If you had to choose between the two, come on. It's like lobster and the burger. Like, let's get this shit together. Come on. Lucky on the Trail. So, everybody wants that.
Nick Luckman everywhere. But yeah, awesome. Lucky on Hops News.
And we appreciate you being up there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You're kind of our history beer guy, right? I mean, if there is beer in America, Milwaukee, Wisconsin is kind of the iconic town of American beer. So we definitely appreciate you being a part of our show and our Hops News family up there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's go down to Florida. Hoppy, where can people find you? Other than Disney World. I will tell you, other than Disney World, because it's closed.
Next month you can find me at Disney World. Until then, it's Instagram and Untapped, the Hoppy Mommy.
Awesome. Let's go check in and back here with Brotherly Love. Brotherly Love, where can people find you on the social accounts?
Like on the social accounts, man, they can find me at on the Instagram at Brotherly Love 1. Yes.
There's only one.
I mean, why did this need to be two? That's no space for that. But yeah, on the Instagram at Brotherly Love 1. And just come send a message. I really don't do the social media thing all that much because I'm trying to get back to a little bit of less of distraction, so I'll come out of the woods when I need to. But every now and again, I'll check it, and we can vibe, we can chat. I'm interested in genuine connections with people that have something to say that that's going to be an allowance for growth, and I try to do the same fucking thing.
Awesome. We're back here. We definitely appreciate you being a part of this show. Definitely hope to see you back fairly often and more of a part of it. It's been some good times, some great times, working in the beer industry together. So everybody knows Hops News, at Hops News. You can find us anywhere, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Share us, like us, invite your friends and family, because that always helps. A little bit of news. Check us out on Facebook tomorrow. We're going to drop some very interesting news that people have been asking about. Beer exchange has been a hot topic. We're going to have a way for you to connect with us personally and participate in some beer exchanges, and also find some ways to get some merchandise. As most of you know, we've talked about, we're on a completely limited budget, but we hope with this initiative that we can kind of change those things. So check us out tomorrow on Facebook. We'll drop a little bit more information there on how you can participate and be involved in that. The bomber jacket giveaway. Unfortunately, I think while the live stream is going on, I can't see who has donated, but as soon as we get done here and close out the live stream, I will see who has donated. I'll pick a name at random, and you'll get this. And this is going to be hot. You could probably sell this for a little bit on eBay. Yeah. No. You could put this on eBay as soon as you get this and make some decent money on it.
And I'll buy it.
This is one of those situations that you can sell it and say, "Oh, I sold it and I made like $15." This is one of those things you can buy it, put it on your damn mantle, or use it and say, "This is a moment in beer history that I had the the moment with these people that are making a difference in this world." So you can have it at that stance. So
the exciting thing about this is, and I know these numbers are not tremendous, but as a person that's doing something that we've kind of pushed this ball for several years, the last check was over $135 to the Valley program. Up to date, we had 180, so we're gaining traction, which is always great to see. So we appreciate every single person that gave tonight. We definitely appreciate you, and I wish I could send you a Supreme bomber jacket personally for everybody that did give. But we're working on that. We are actually working on getting these bomber jackets with some Hops News on them. So check out tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have some information on that tomorrow. Hopefully with some of our loyal listener support, we'll be able to make that happen. But appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Share us, like us, send us your love, share people that you know, tag them, whatever it may be. We definitely appreciate the support. And next week, we'll be back to do the same thing with another great brewery, with another great cause, because that's what we enjoy doing and doing well that we do here at Hops News. So appreciate you tuning in, and have a great night.
Have a great night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.